Hi guys, we're still on 9E. We're doing some word problems that are applications of quadratic equations. And I do want to do example 3, which I've written in the space from example 2. So I'm actually just going to go get a new page, and you guys can figure out where you're going to be able to do your work on example 3 and then 4 on this page 45. So again, they're giving you a formula that models, in this case, they're having a person ride in a hot air balloon. The scenario, you can read the scenario, you can see the numbers. But again, the height after t seconds, his height in the hot air balloon is given by this formula that somebody's come up with, somebody very smart, right there. And so this is the formula that we're going to use to answer the question of how long does it take. So this guy's up in the hot air balloon and he's dropping an apple out of the hot air balloon. I hope it doesn't hit anybody. The question is, how long does it take in seconds for this apple to hit the ground? Well, anytime you see the word hit the ground, on the ground, be level with the ground, anything like that, your h is going to be 0 because your height above the ground is nothing. You are not above the ground. Your h is 0. So once we plug in 0 for this equation and solve for t, we can find out the answer to the question. So basically, we're going to solve for t. There's a couple of different ways to solve for t. We've learned 3 or 4 different ways to solve quadratic equations in this chapter. I'm going to just use, I'm noticing that 16 is a perfect square and 144 is as well. So I'm going to go with that and see if I can end up with the square root of both sides being the easiest method for me to solve it. You can use the solving by factoring. You can use the quadratic formula, the minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus, I just said it wrong. Anyway, you can use the quadratic formula if you want. So here's what we have in trying to get the squared variable alone. The next step would, of course, be to divide by negative 16, and I end up with t squared equaling, and that's a positive 9. So this looks really nice. You can take the square root of both sides at this point, and you end up with your two answers. T is equal to plus 3 or minus 3. And of course, to answer the question, we need to go back and read what they're asking. They're asking for time. We are not going to use the negative value of our mathematical solution. The answer to our question is t is equal to 3 seconds for apple to land safely and not on anybody's head, land safely on ground. So that one's pretty easy. Let's look really quickly at example 4. Go back down here. I think I might have room to do it on here. Again, another formula. So, and they give you some information. So we're talking about the volume of a cylinder. You know, here's your cylinder looking thing. Volume is, of course, how much it contains. So the volume of any given cylinder, which you'll learn this in geometry, you'll use this a lot, is equal to pi r squared h, where r is the radius of your base or your top, because those are both circles, and h is the height of the cylinder. So there's your picture. And they give us some information. They say, okay, I've got a cylinder that's, 10 feet tall, and I'm giving you the volume to the nearest tenth of a foot. What's the radius? So this is a plug and chug here. The volume is 140. And the height is 10 feet. So when we clean this up a little bit, you get, if I divide both sides by 10 as my first step, I'm going to get 14 is equal to pi r squared. I can divide both sides by pi. There's 2 ways to do this. You have a pi key on your calculator. You can also just use 3.14. You might have a little bit different answer than I do, but those are both widely accepted ways to use a value for pi. You've got to get a numeric value for them to get a numeric answer. So when you plug this in your calculator, or you use 3.14, you're going to get close to r squared being 4.4585. I think I did that on the calculator. And then, of course, you've got to take the square root of both sides. And we can talk about how you do this on your calculator if you haven't figured it out. We talked a little bit last time about using it. And you will get the radius equaling plus and minus 4. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I did the wrong thing here. It is equaling close to, and it says round to the nearest tenth of a foot, 2.1 feet. So we're going to throw out the negative answer because that doesn't make sense in our problem. And our answer is going to be radius of cylinder, so YL, is approximately, there's my little wavy sign, approximately 2.1 feet. All right, we'll stop here, and then I'll pick it back up on the next page in the next video. Bye.